Picasso one day was in a market, and a woman saw him. She said, "Mr. Picasso, it's great to see you. I'm a huge fan." He said, "Nice to meet you." She said, "Mr. Picasso," she pulled out a piece of paper and a pencil. "Mr. Picasso, can you do a little piece of art for me? Can you do a little drawing?" He said, "Absolutely." Did a beautiful drawing. She looked at it. She said, "Oh, Mr. Picasso, fantastic." She starts walking away. He goes, "Ah, my dear lady, that'll be $1 million." She said, "Mr. Picasso, $1 million. It took you 30 seconds to do that." He said, "My dear lady, it took me 30 years to do that in 30 seconds." When we look at the Bonos of the world, when we look at the leading sales professionals of the world, when we look at the best leaders without title, when we look at the masters of HR, the masters of R&D, we look at the best business people, we say, she's gifted, she's smarter than me, she's better with people than me, she just somehow knows more than me, she's got a better education, she had an easier background, she got lucky. You've heard the cliche because it's true, the harder I work, the luckier I get. I'm here today. I'm an ordinary person, but I focused on my craft. I had a burning desire to be excellent. I love what I do. What I do, this leadership message, sharing in my books and speaking is my oxygen, it's my DNA. 4 in the morning I get up and I'm working in my craft because I love it. I love it. I know every single one of us can be a genius quicker than you think. Quicker than you think. But if you focus on all things, then to be all things to all people, you can never really get to mastery or specialty. So be stunningly good at what you do.
My name is Akash Singh. I'm the president of the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'd like to encourage our members to get a copy of the vision that we've created for a business in the city, and more specifically to unpack that vision, the 10 goals, and how can it influence your business, and how can you be an active participant in making this vision a reality. Thank you very much.
Andrew Lehman, Chief Executive Officer, Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We're very proud of this document that we've now produced. We'd like to think that it will guide the private sector in Durban in the future. It will certainly guide the Chamber in what we undertake to do as a Chamber by way of our contribution towards the economic development and growth of the city. It is a vision. It needs to be unpacked into strategic plans as time goes on, but we had to start somewhere. So this is our vision of what the city should look like in terms of its economic development and growth. And as I suggested, it will certainly guide the Chamber in the work we do from now on.
An addiction to distraction is the death of creative production. So on an average day, we're spending 2.1 hours a day in distraction. We're distracted by technology every 11 minutes, and it takes us 25 minutes to refocus our mindsets on sort of that deep work and creative work we were doing before we were distracted. And I think any business person who wants to change the game, go into rehabilitation for your addiction to distraction, where we turn off our technology, we do real work, is really definitely a game changer. Regardless of what you do in an organization, you not only have the opportunity, you have the responsibility to show leadership. It means, number one, play at world class in terms of your level of competence. Work like Picasso painted. Commit yourself to knowing more about your work than anyone who's ever done your work in the history of the world. Number two, disrupting the way you worked yesterday. Don't just go to work and do work the way you did it yesterday. Go to work and make it 1% better than you did yesterday. Number three, you want to lead without a title? Be all about relationships. We live in an interesting world. We've forgotten that the job of a leader is to grow more leaders. Being brilliant at listening to people, being inspirational, knowing how to provoke people to do difficult work that allows them to grow is definitely part of leadership without a title as well. What are some daily practices? Number one, radiate positive energy. We have a choice every day. We can be a victim or we can show leadership. Victims make excuses, leaders drive results. Victims complain, leaders say, difficult times are when I get to show what I'm truly made of. When you go to work, have high energy. When you go to work, bring your best game. Number two, first 90 minutes of your workday only on important work. That means no checking your email, don't check your Twitter feed, don't chit chat on the water cooler. Science says we are at our energetic best first thing in the morning. That's when we have most of our focus. Use your best hours to do your best work. Number three, a nightly debrief. So just before you go to sleep, pull out your journal and ask yourself this question. What are 3 good things that happened in this day? And that will sort of train your mind on what you did well during the day and allow the next day to become a platform to do something better. And then the final thing I'd simply say is, we're paid to learn. So no matter how busy you are, you want to find some time, especially 60 minutes, to learn something. As you learn more, then you can see around corners. And ultimately, that's a huge competitive advantage for you in your business career.
The Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry, together with East Coast Radio, and in collaboration with International Vaults, IBV, are delighted to announce that we bring you Robin Sharma live in Durban on the 27th of July at the Olive Convention Center. Robin Sharma is the celebrated author of 15 best-selling books on leadership, including The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, The Leader Who Had No Title, and The Greatest Guide. To book your seats, contact the Durban Chamber of Commerce on 031 335 1000 or email events@durbanchamber.co.za. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.